Myself Suresh, Associate Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. My topic is thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is a branch which deals with heat and temperature to the relation of work and energy. The thermodynamics name itself shows, name therm means heat, it's a Greek word, and dynamics is basically concerned about force and motion. The major application of thermodynamics in older days is mostly in automobiles and power plants, but today the thermodynamics dealt with many other practical applications, like even in space, even in home appliances, even in many industries. The thermodynamics are major field. Thermodynamics combined with fluid mechanics and HMT, that is heat and mass transfer, it has enormous applications. Basically, thermodynamics have classified into two types. The first one is statistical thermodynamics, and next one is classical thermodynamics. Based on the approach of our view, the statistical and classicals are classified. The statistical means is micro. We can analyze our object into an atom level, and we can average value is statistical is average value. We can get the overall value by statistical method, but it is very tedious, and we need computer help. That's why we go to classical thermodynamics. It is a macro. It means we can sense of touch and we can feel it. That is a classical thermodynamics. Before going to the analysis of thermodynamics, we first to know about states of matter. Basically, the three states of matter. First one is solid, and liquid, and gas. Based on the intermolecular attraction, the matter is classified. Then solid, we have different shape, and the intermolecular bondings are very strong. And the liquid have very loose bond. It doesn't have any shape. It acquires the shape of the container. And gases have no means of bonding. It is completely filled the container. So any system we can consider, it's a combination of these three. So the system is somewhat we observe. It may be anything. For example, if I am observe myself, I am the system. If I observe this pen, this is a system. System may be classified into three types. First one open system, next one is closed system, and third one is isolated system. The system have certain boundaries. It may be real or imaginary or fixed, or it may be movable. For example, let us take this pen as my system. It is a solid one. It have fixed real boundary. If I take this room as my system, this entire wall is my boundary. This is real. Suppose if I consider certain object, imaginary square in this wall, that is an imaginary system. The boundary is imaginary lines. Another type of fixed and movable. Let us consider this is cylinder with a piston inside. I consider this as gas. This is my imaginary movable boundary. If I extend the piston, the boundary may move along with this. That's why it is movable. If I consider this piston as my system, it is always fixed one. This boundary is never extend. Next one is surroundings. Anything apart from system is surrounding. If I consider myself a system, everything is surrounding. If I consider this board as my system, this frame is my boundary, everything else is my surroundings. Next one is for any system, we know to define, we must know the properties. The properties is the characteristical behavior of any system. It is broadly classified in two types. First one is intrinsic property, next one is extrinsic property. Intrinsic properties are nothing but it doesn't it is depend on mass. For example, let us take this is my system. I define by many properties like mass, volume, energy, entropy, density, temperature, pressure, melting point, and boiling point. If I split the system imaginarily by on straight line, it is split into equal half. My density, temperature, pressure, melting point, boiling point doesn't change by splitting it into half. But the mass, volume, energy, entropy are equally break into two halves. If I split into again mass volumes reduced into another half. That's why it is called dependent on mass. It is called extensive property, and independent on mass are called intensive property. Just by knowing this property, we can define any system. Mostly the thermodynamics dealt with equilibrium. That's why we can define the property. If its system is not in equilibrium, we can't define the property. For example, if a system, same example, the piston and cylinder arrangement. If I move continuously, I only can tell the properties at the end state. I can't define any states because it's continuously moving. So any property, if you want to define, it should be in equilibrium. For any system, it should be equilibrium. It should have the thermal equilibrium, mechanical equilibrium, and chemical equilibrium. The thermal equilibrium is nothing but the temperature difference between the systems and surroundings are same. That's why there is no interaction between system and surrounding. Next one is mechanical equilibrium. The mechanical itself says it's a force. The force, external force and internal resistance are equal. The system doesn't change. That's why it's called mechanical equilibrium. Next one is chemical equilibrium. The chemical properties should not change, or chemical properties and internal atom structure should not change. This is a basic needs for any thermodynamics equilibrium. Next one is quasi-static. For any system, if it's continuously moving, I already said we cannot define the property. But we can imaginarily make a quasi-static system by the quasi means is almost equal. So I can move very small distance, and I can accrue the properties of that particular point, and plotting that kind of property is called quasi-static property. Next one is state, point, and path functions. Thermodynamics, if I have know the properties of any system, I can state the state of the system by knowing this property. It is a point function just by defining the 2 points of the system. Next one is path function. The system is continuously move along this path. We can define it as path function. Next one is a steady state and unsteady state. Basically, steady state doesn't depend on. It is independent of time. That is, it's constant with the time, and the unsteady state is dependent on time. It varies continuously with the respective time. Already I said the thermodynamics deals with work and energy by the application of heat and temperature. This behavior can be explained by laws of thermodynamics. The first law is zeroth law, and first law, second law, and third law. The zeroth law is called associative law. Suppose two bodies are thermal equilibrium with each other, and also separately with the another one, then all the three are in equilibrium. This is called zeroth law. It is a basic unit for any temperature measurement. Next one is first law. It's a law of conservation of energy. That means the total energy remains always constant. Always constant. That is any kind of energy. Suppose if I apply some heat energy to the system, the pistons will move by the expansion of gas. Its energy is totally converted to mechanical energy. But I sum the total energy, it will become same. So it always is constant. It is called law of conservation of energy. It is very essential for any conversion of energy. That is work to heat or heat to work. That's all. Thank you for watching.